Hank Green has admitted to using AI to help him research for papers.
There was a huge fan backlash.
Has he destroyed his career?
Hi, I'm Tasha.
Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to the Publishing Things podcast.
Today, we're looking at the fallout from the moment Hank Green, the beloved creator of science communications like SciShow and Bizarre Beasts, admitted he has been using AI in his work.
Yeah. So before we get into the details of this, let's give you a bit of background about who Hank Green is. So Hank and John Green are brothers, known as the Vlog Brothers, and they've been on the internet almost as long as we have, I think, Tash.
Yeah, and that's a long time, trust me. They've probably been on the internet as long as we have, but they didn't get famous until, I would hate to say when they got famous, but they've been famous on YouTube for a long time now.
And I mean, John Green, he's a well-known author. He wrote The Fault in Our Stars, which is a very famous book that got made into a movie. But he's also, I think he finds this more important, I think, he is a global health person. And he's been fighting, one of the big things he's been fighting for recently, I see is lots of posts on it, is stopping tuberculosis worldwide. So he's trying to improve the health of the world, basically.
Yeah. Whereas Hank is John's younger brother. He's a science communicator on YouTube and the other platforms, as well as a novelist and a stand-up comedian.
And I mean, we mentioned they've been doing the Vlog Brothers channel for decades. It's definitely decades. It's been a long time.
Decades.
But they've diversified, and they created, I think it was last year, might be the year before, they created their own company, Complexly, which actually produces things like SciShow and other shows, and Crash Course, I think, as well, is one of theirs as well.
I was just going to say that, but Hank took a step back in 2023 when he was diagnosed and successfully treated for Hodgkin's lymphoma. But he's been back at it for a long time, sort of a couple of years now, and he's just going full guns on everything.
Yeah, because that's when he became a stand-up comedian, because he started doing jokes about his treatment. And that's
his hair.
He got stand-up in his hair, yeah.
Yeah, because his hair came back really curly. And so the biggest scandal that Hank has been involved in up until now was when he presented a SciShow episode about knitting that basically did not go over well with the knitting community. And Hank is the CEO of Complexly, which produces the SciShow. He didn't write that episode. He just presented it, and his team was responsible for sourcing the ideas and creating the content. And this whole episode was created in a response to a team of physicists publishing a paper on the physics of knitting, and in relation to being able to create computer models that would be able to give you the best results. And so it was all about the science of knitting.
Yeah, I saw the episode actually when it first came out, because I watch SciShow regularly. I'm a crocheter, not a knitter, I will state now. So I would not know the detail of knitting and stuff, but I thought it was actually quite an interesting episode. I thought the way I think quite a lot of SciShow content is interesting. It's not something I know a huge amount about, but it was something that I thought, oh, this is interesting. Oh, of course physicists are going to try modeling knitting and stuff, and how the different knots, they call them knots. Yeah, they call them knots. I must admit, I spotted that and thought, oh, they're not knots. I know that much.
Yeah. That's good. That
But
was a bad start.
but I mean, I thought it was quite interesting, the fact that they were modelling it. But then the backlash happened, and the backlash was from the knitting community.
I only saw the backlash, by the way. I didn't see the actual episode.
It's a large percentage of women. It's a very women dominated area, knitting. Although there are men in it who enjoy knitting. I watch quite a few chaps who do knitting on YouTube. Although I watch more crochet, as I have to say, as well, because I watch a lot more crochet than I do knitting. But the knitting community did call the episode inaccurate at best. And yes, okay, they did actually use pictures of things that they said were one thing and then were actually another. So I don't think the researchers did a really good job there. But they also said it was condescending and quite a lot of mansplaining. And I think a lot of people thought that it was a bunch of blokes, although they didn't ever gender the scientists, I have to say, who wrote the paper on modelling knitting. I think people assumed it was a bunch of blokes. That they were because I think they took the attitude that the episode was assuming that before they did they tried to do this modelling, nobody understood how knitting worked. It was just a feel thing. When a lot of people pointed out, actually, no, we really know how it works, and we've been doing this for years. So it was a little bit, yeah. And I do wonder what would have happened, and what the response would have been, and would it have been so visceral if a woman presenter had been presenting rather than a male one? Because
Yeah.
I think they got that a bit wrong, didn't they?
Yes. Although, I mean, yeah, I assume they put Hank in there because they wanted it to be quite a light-hearted one, and he's very good at
Probably.
presenting those ones. And yeah, it just did not hit right.
No, so I mean, it was actually at the end of it, the reaction was so vast and so hostile. SciShow, this is SciShow, not Hank, I'll be clear about, came out with an apology and took the episode down. They said they apologised that their research on this episode was not good enough. They got their facts wrong, and they took it down. I don't know if they've ever done that with any other episodes, but they definitely did, and pretty rapidly on this one.
Yeah, because it happened so rapidly. I saw the aftermath. I never got to see the video because it was gone. It was disappeared into the ether.
I think the reason we're talking about this in depth is because this has come up again since Hank admitted using AI, and some people have been wondering if more of that was used in SciShow and stuff. I don't think it was.
No,
I just think it was. I don't think it's linked. I think it's another thing to beat him over the head with.
Yeah,
frankly.
I think basically it was just a bunch of scientists looking at a scientific paper and coming at something they didn't know a whole lot about, and thinking, oh, we'll just do the science, without actually thinking about how the skill and the craft is actually the really important bit about it. So I think that was a throw and a miss, rather than a
it wasn't AI's fault.
No, really, what they should have done is they should have got an expert on knitting to talk about what they thought of the paper. But they didn't have it wasn't rounded enough, basically. I don't think. It was scientists doing science rather than scientists and a scientist who might be a knitter as well doing science.
Yeah, I mean, people were suggesting, could they do it again? Some people were. Some people said, get rid of it. It's insulting. Don't touch this again. And that SciShow haven't gone back there. But I would actually like to see them do it again better.
With a knitter. an expert in the field of knitting rather than a scientist. So not a physicist, a knitter, possibly both if you can find one, because I'm sure there must be physicists out there who are also knitters. But the question is, and actually scientists do get very, very focused on their hobbies as well. So you probably find that a physicist who was a knitter would be able to know everything. So that you just have to find one.
Yeah.
But because that could be very interesting if they could redo it. But they might not have touched it with a barge pole yet because it might take too long. Because I suspect getting the knitter involved would take much more time. But anyway, on to the AI admissions.
So yeah, this all started when Hank was doing an Ask Hank Anything episode with Soupy Time. I'll link to the episode in the description so you can go see it if you want to. And I might put a little clip here because there is one bit in it.
A better way to say it, and I appreciate the pushback.
That people got a little bit hooked up on. Soupy Time asked Hank a question and he couldn't answer it fully. So, being an honest person, he said, I don't know the answer to that. I will go and look it up and then I'll insert my future self in here with an answer to this. And so he did.
That's a very nice way of going about things, because a lot of people just keep talking and try to pretend they know everything, and they don't. I mean, at least he did that. He's doing that, all of that right.
Yeah, and so the bit that people started talking about was when he was doing his monologue to camera, which is done on a script. He's very, very good at that kind of stuff. Something we don't do, Tash. but because we're no good at that. I don't have a prompter or anything to read things. I did try it for the when we're doing our fiction readouts, but I couldn't get the speed right to start with, so I'm gonna have to practice with that. But so people were saying, yeah, that sounds like AI wrote that. He's actually quoting AI. And so Hank responded.
But what he said was simply management speak. If you've ever been in a management meeting with anybody who has done a business degree of any sort, that is exactly the type of interesting phrase they will use. So to me, all I get is this vision of, those 80s comedy show where you've got the marketing bros standing up there in front telling everybody. And yeah, that's all that comes into my head.
I used to work for an American company. And yeah, we got, I was a project manager in an American company. And oh my God, did we, I used to have to, edit myself out when I started using the management speak, because we got very good at that. You don't even realize you're doing it when you because you're so used to it.
I suppose that's why people are saying it sounded like AI, because they think that he's picked it up from using AI all the time, which is a possibility. It's a possibility, or it might have just been something that he said anyway. So and so what happened is Hank Green then came out with a tweet, which has since been deleted. But this is the tweet he produced. I produced this under a ton of pressure, so I went and checked my process from start to finish. I did use ChatGPT for research on this script, and watching it, I definitely get an AI feel, so I think it's fair to say I was relying too much on generated notes. That's a thing I've been doing, and it's a bad habit at a time when I've overcommitted myself. But I just went to the notes and the script for this, and neither contained the I appreciate the pushback line. So that particular moment was an ad-lib in reference to my guest pushing back on me, saying the words are purely made up.
This tweet sounds like Hank Green, and it sounds like just a confession. He's just confessing. He's fessing up that he thinks he may have been using AI too much. So I can understand why it got deleted, because I expect it was getting a whole bunch of comments that he didn't need. But it sounds like him. It's honest and it's blunt.
Yep.
And I can understand he's a driven person. And so I can understand the pressure he might have been under. And
because
taking shortcuts.
Because he produces so much content. I mean, you don't see John that often, but you see Hank everywhere. Hank pops up on my feed so many times a week, it's a bit crazy. And I suspect he spread himself way too thin. And when you've done that and you're trying to do that, it really is tempting to just take the shortcuts. I mean, let's face it, the YouTube algorithm and everything is absolutely crazy these days. If you listen to these gurus who tell you how your YouTube channel, how to grow your YouTube channel, it's like the amount of content you're supposed to produce is crazy. I mean, no wonder people are taking shortcuts. And it's so, it needs to be wound back because it's impossible. I mean, people are having breakdowns because it's on. I mean, I see people apologizing for taking a day off. You're allowed to take a day off. You shouldn't be working all the time. It will screw you up hideously. Human beings are not designed to work all the time.
And I see that actually in some people do get fixated and obsessed with things, and they do want, I mean, they're probably getting dopamine hits from the interactions and stuff when they keep posting and things, but I think Hank, we'll talk about Hank's reaction later in more detail, but I think he enjoys the interactions. He enjoys being there on YouTube. He enjoys what he does, and that makes him probably a little bit obsessive about it. I mean, the rest of us, I mean, we try and walk away. We have limits and things, but maybe it's because we're older, Tash. We go, yeah, nah, that's too much like hard work. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you do see it though. You see people burning themselves out. It really is crazy.
Okay, so we mentioned that Hank deleted that tweet, but he did put up a much longer statement on Reddit, which we've got here, and I'm going to read it to you guys.
Soph's already read it, but I haven't seen it before. So Soph's going to give her reactions on where she's been thinking about it, and I'm going to come in cold and give my reactions to it as well.
Okay, so this is what he said. 3 things to start. 1, I'm mortified that I've let so many people down, and I think I understand how that happened. 2, I'm going to change things about how I make stuff. And 3, Complexly's AI policy, and there's a link here, we'll be looking at the policy in a minute, is public and well considered and adhered to by the whole team. I think it's worth reading. We're going to do that. Complexly is the non-profit that makes Crash Course and SciShow and a bunch of other shows that I do not write for. And he's very clear about that.
Yeah. I mean, he's very clear. I mean, I can understand why he's mortified, because he is a very trusted creator. And then to realize, and he's taking responsibility for, he's realized that he's been doing some of it wrong.
Yeah.
And he's coming out and admitting it. And I think that takes a lot of bravery. Because he's not blaming it on it. He's not blaming it on anybody else. He's going, yeah, I did this. My bad.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing he says is, the thing that everything we do is based on is that you know that what I'm saying are my thoughts coming from my brain and the way I decide. I have made that harder, and I'm sorry. I have been relying too heavily on AI as a research aid. It can be very useful for this task, giving me access to a lot of papers I didn't know existed really fast. But I think that has been to the detriment of my work, because it has not given me the freedom to find all of my own ways into and around a topic.
Yeah, that says to me that, I mean, because AI can be very useful for going off and finding things, but I think he thinks that he may not have always had the whole picture because he was relying on what the AI found rather than what he did when he did a deep dive by himself.
Yeah, and I think we do know that AI can be biased, can't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's different ways of reading into that as well, because I mean, he says he only uses it for research, but there are two ways of using AI for research. The first one is give me a list of papers and I'll just go off and read the papers. The second one is give me a list of papers, but then give me a summary of what's in those papers. And the first one, I say, fine, although I wouldn't use generative AI anyway, but if people are using it, the first option is okay. The second one, AI doesn't do summaries correctly. We know this. If you've ever looked at the top of the Google page where it gives you the AI summary, oh my God, is that inaccurate sometimes? Or not inaccurate, be more precise. It's very certain of itself. It states things which aren't always that precise, that clear, that clear cut.
I mean, I have to admit that I did once put one of my very short stories into an AI to see how it would summarize it, so that I could use it sort of if I wanted to put a summary at the top of a blog post or something. I wanted to see what it would do. And it got it. There wasn't that much text, and it still got the plot wrong.
yeah. Okay, so what Hank then goes on with is, but for clarity, the origin of claims in my videos are not ChatGPT's said this. I have been using AI to locate papers and other resources for learning about topics. You are still getting my takes based on what I read, know, and learn.
So that would suggest it was option 1.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah. But he seems to think that he probably might. It's possible he didn't get the full picture because it didn't give him all of the possibilities.
Yeah. So he goes on with, I think what people have said in this thread, this is in the Reddit thread, about me diluting myself is spot on. Ultimately, what I am most scared of is ruining myself for people. But I have not been managing my impulses well. You need to know that my words are mine. I don't think that this hasn't been true. Well, that's an interesting. I don't think that this hasn't been true. But I've been moving so fast that my own process isn't actually clear to me, and I want to have it be a guarantee moving forward. That's interesting.
That is interesting because it sounds like he thought he was doing one thing, but he's not sure he has been because he's been working too fast on things.
Yeah. Okay, so carrying on, this is quite a long one. What I can't guarantee, though, is that we will agree about this technology, as in AI, or what to do with it. I think that's good. We have a lot of kinds of folks critiquing this technology.
Yeah, and it really needs to be it very much needs to be critiqued.
Needs to be critiqued, yes.
It needs to be legislated for.
Yeah.
It has no checks and balances at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, it carries on. I'm not a pure AI hater. No shit, Sherlock. Which people in the AI industry know. So when I say that the way these models were trained deeply disturbs me, that lands differently.
Yeah, because
I think
he's
I think I know what he means here. He means that because he's not completely negative, people are listening to what he says. I think that's what he's trying to say, isn't it?
Well, either that or coming from the other way, the people that totally hate AI and don't want it to exist at all, probably won't see his words as impactful as they might be if he was coming from the same area that they are, because he's coming at it
Possibly,
from a different direction. So it could be either of those.
Yeah. Maybe it's both. So he carries on. When I say that I think that the speed at which these companies are trying to consolidate economic power should freak out everyone in the world, that's coming from someone who has nuanced takes.
But
fair enough. Yes, I think they are coming out too fast. But yeah, okay, he's saying he doesn't think it's completely true by the end of things. It's nuanced. He's saying that he thinks it's freaking people out, and he thinks they should be right. So he's saying it should freak people out.
Yes, he's saying that this should freak people out, but that it's not something that he doesn't completely disagree with it. He just disagrees with the way it's being. Everybody's using it to just grab more and more and more and more and more, I think, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then he carries on again, carries on. When I say I worry about the climate impacts of this rollout, this is not me saying I don't think this tech should ever exist. It's me saying, for God's sake, please don't make our biggest problem worse.
Yeah, basically, they've got to make it more efficient, and they've got to do something about their AI data centers, which are polluting water. If you can have an entire power station where the water that's cooling reactors comes out cleaner than when you put it in, an AI data center should not be polluting the surrounding water. Yeah. It just shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't. Okay, back to Hank. It is very likely that you, the reader, and I disagree on how or even whether AI should be used. Yep, I agree with you on that, mate. I think it makes sense for that disagreement to exist. Good.
You and me don't completely agree on everything either.
No, I don't suppose we do. So he carries on, but I have always believed that my audience is more likely to be right than I am. You know what this feels like in a way I can't. And I am so sorry for diluting myself in this way and harming the thing that we have all built together. Again, so he's apologizing again, isn't he? He's apologizing about the fact that he's not apologizing for using AI. He's apologizing, I think, for spreading himself too far and
he's apologizing for using AI too much, because he's been doing too much, and so he can't be his genuine self because he's been doing too many things, and therefore he had to use a tool to get him there, and it was the wrong thing to do, I think, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, here we go again. I did say it was long, didn't I? As for the why don't you just make less? No one is making you do this. I'm not sure that's how I work. Fair enough, mate. Yeah, I think you're pretty driven. I've been feeling the pressure of, I have this little video idea. I need to get it out real fast so I can get to the more important stuff. And I create when I feel that pressure.
Yeah.
So he's using the pressure to do.
Spoken like a driven man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and but making more things does not make me make better things. Good point, mate.
Good point. Yeah.
It does not make the big thing that we've been doing for 20 years better. So it has been decades, 2 decades. I know that I can manage myself more efficiently. I think that's a brave admission.
Yeah.
I think it's good that he's actually saying that. It goes, I want to make videos like the one I made yesterday on Hank's channel, where the writing was the whole thing, and I felt it all the way down, and have been so enriched by people's responses to it. And sure, I'm probably going to make dumb, unscripted, straight-to-camera thoughts videos sometimes, and then I'll play connections.
Yeah.
But mostly I need to come to terms with the fact that the level of dopamine I've been getting from interacting with LLMs, with doing more and more and more and more, is not healthy for me or good for the world. It is careless and has disconnected me from where people are on this.
Yeah, that
So
makes
he's
sense.
admitting he's in a different place. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's good. I think, and it sounds like he became addicted to this. He was enjoying it too much.
I think he's somebody that really enjoys getting all his ideas out there. He sounds to me like, and he just really enjoys. So he was using shortcuts to get everything on there, and that was giving him a huge reward because he was producing and producing and producing, which can be addictive, but it'll also burn you out really quickly.
Yeah. So he carries on. I was talking with Catherine last night, and she did not pull any punches. Frankly, neither did John. Neither of them think I've been being healthy. I need to readjust. So, what changes? Number 1, expect less Hank's channel. It may need to pause for a while.
Good idea.
It may be that Hank's channel comes back with writing and research support. I think that's good. We'll talk about this later on, but yeah, I think he does need some more support for that, maybe. It may be that it comes back with just way fewer videos. I am going to spend finishing a video I've been working on for ages that I think really, really matters. Good on him. Okay, he's taking some time off. Good. Number 2, Smush and 4x3 are getting paused as well. If there are bugs, there are bugs. I have backlog of 4x3 boards right now, and frankly, writing them is usually a solace to me. But if we ran out, I am not going to worry about that. So if it just reverts to a static board one day, that'll be that. I don't actually know the context of that bit.
No, I don't know what that is either.
But I get the sentiment.
Yeah.
Stepping back from that as well. So finally he finishes, I do deeply want to support good store and complexly. I do deeply want to support good store and complexly in whatever way I can. So there may be some stuff on that front. But the reliance on me has always been risky. So we need to build for that as well. I am very sorry for harming the thing this is all based on.
Yeah. So it's basically saying similar things to his tweet, but it's much more detailed, thorough, and I think he's trying to be very clear and earnest about what he's thinking.
Yeah, and he's clearly, he's being honest about being embarrassed. And it's not just embarrassed about getting caught. A lot of creators who do apologies are embarrassed about getting caught, aren't they? Yeah. I don't think this is like one of those. This isn't like one of those.
No, it feels like he really is. It really has given him a kick up the backside that he actually clearly needed, and he's had to think about it. And I think that's what I get from that statement. I've actually really had to think about this, and oh my God, how did I get this far down the rabbit hole?
Yeah, he did, because he said he can't really follow his own process and how he got here. So, and I think he's taking a step back. He's taking some time to take stock, which I think is good.
Yeah.
This Reddit post came out, and then Hank also did a vid, which we'll link to again in the description, so people can go and watch it. It's only 5 minutes long, but he does talk a lot about where this came from, where the problems came from, but also I think the important thing out of this that we can take away is he has come up with rules for himself about AI usage. And I think we can go through. There's only only three of them. So firstly, his first rule is no portion of any script will be written, edited, or outlined by an LLM.
Good rule.
Good. The thesis of a video will always originate with a human.
Yep. Another good one.
Yep. And no image or music in a video will be generated by AI. If something is accidentally included, best efforts will be made to remove it.
That's a very, very good one, because the whole image and music making with AI is an entirely different thing as well.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, that's a very simple set of rules, but I think they're a very good set of rules. I think now we probably need to look at, Tash, Complexly's AI policy.
Yes, which I have pulled up. Now, I will let you, I suggest you all go and read it. We will link it down below, because there is a big section at the beginning, which is basically telling you why they have the policy. But it's going to take too long to read that. So I am just going to read their four rules for their AI policy. So number 1 is, we will not produce videos written, edited, or fact-checked by AI. This includes not just scripts written in their entirety by these tools, but also those with significant portions composed, edited, or fact-checked by them. Number 2, we will not produce videos or any other public-facing content containing illustrations or animations created by AI trained on non-consensual datasets. This includes DALL-E 2 and Midjourney. Some tools are trained on images created by people who agreed to be in the dataset, and those may be used. Number 3, when using AI tools trained on consensual data sets to create visual elements, we will ensure we are not misleading viewers as to what is real or contributing to misinformation. Where applicable, we will label images created this way. Number 4, we may use AI tools to suggest ideas for script subjects, examples, visual elements, etc., and do preliminary research. Ideas come from many places in the early stages of conceptualizing and producing a video, and it's fine for AI to be one of them. Similarly, using these tools to identify sources is acceptable as long as those sources are verified by our team. Those seem like four very sensible rules.
Yep. And I like the way they've been quite explicit about how they use AI in research. Because,
yes,
as we've mentioned, AI is a good research tool.
And also with the visual elements. Because some of things like some of the tools in Adobe are AI based, but they have been trained on data sets which haven't been stolen from everyone. So if you're going to use the full tool set, you have to be aware of that.
Yes. I also think, though, it's a good thing around if they are going to use it, they're going to state it as well. They're going to state that it has been used.
If you, if you use AI, you should tell everybody you used AI in it. Yeah. I mean, if you've created images from consensual data sets and it's not a real image, you just created it out of thin air, because that's what AI is doing, basically. You should tell people that. And then they have a chance to view it from that angle. You should give your audience all the information, basically. You shouldn't be hiding these things.
Yeah, and I think that's quite important as well, because I mean I can see Hank's fingerprints on that policy.
It was actually written in 2023, apparently.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I think
No.
he's not anti AI. He's not. We will never use it.
Yeah.
I do think it's important that you use an ethically sourced AI and one that is good for the environment, not bad for the environment. So, because I mean, some of this stuff, AI is a tool. I think it's even in some of the free stuff that I use as well. DaVinci has got, I think, some free AI stuff in it and things like that. I'm assuming that isn't actually overusing resources to do what it's doing. Because if it runs on my PC, it can't be, because my PC is far too old to be able to manage that.
Yeah, and a lot of things now actually have little local AI engines to do things.
Yeah.
Which take up ridiculously large amounts of space. So if you don't have a very big hard drive, it's very annoying. It does mean it's running locally. You're using your own resources.
Yeah.
Which is a good plan in some of these cases.
Okay, so we've been through the facts and what we think about what's happened. I mean, we've done 2 vids already. I'll link them down below, on AI and what our opinions on AI are. But based on what's been happening now, do you think, Tash, that Hank overused AI?
Yes, he did, because he admits it. That's what he's putting his hand up to. He's going, yep, I used it far too much, and it clearly, it didn't do me any good, and it didn't do my videos any good. It shouldn't have done it. So yes, he must have done.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been doing some research on this, wandering all over YouTube and finding stuff out, because there's more and more vids coming out about this. But Virginia K. Knits asked the question, do we need to think more critically about Hank Green's content and his biases now? I mean, she says yes. What do we think?
I don't think that we have to really. I think he did too much content, and you could look at it, and you could go and you can do your own. I mean, whenever content comes out and you're learning things, you should go and find the information from other sources as well. It's a general principle of just doing your own research. And I'm not saying that facetiously, like all of the right-wingers say it, because they clearly haven't done their own research. But you can go out there and look at other sources, or even look at the same sources, because if you're doing a science thing, your sources should be listed in your description. You should be showing people where you got the information.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things about SciShow does encourage you to think things through and do more stuff. And I mean, I can consume SciShow and go, oh, that's interesting. I may never go back and look it up again, but what they tell me is quite interesting. And then I'll see it mentioned somewhere else, and things like that. So yeah, okay, I probably don't always do my own research, but I do tend to trust things, and I trust that they'll tell me they got it wrong if they did get something wrong.
Yes.
And they'll put corrections in.
That's the thing about channels like SciShow. You know, if they get it wrong, they will do another video and tell you how badly they got it wrong. And they will listen to their the people who are commenting. That is comment. Sorry. My brain just suddenly didn't know the word. It's like, So, yeah.
I think I agree. I think it is trusting. But I mean, also, do your own research is a throwaway statement. But I mean, there's another quote that I actually like, because we used to say it all the time when we were doing our PhDs. Stealing from one person is plagiarism. Stealing from many is research.
Yeah.
Now, okay, it's a flippant statement, but it's the many in there that's important. It's the fact that you've gone to a lot of different places and looked things up and found things out and brought the ideas together for yourself.
And when you've brought it together, I mean, the same thing is true about writing, because there's no such thing as a completely original plot.
Nope.
And you will have been picking up things from over here and over there and up there and down there in every book you've ever read. It's in your brain somewhere, even if it's just disappeared into the back. And what you're doing when you write something new is you're bringing all of that experience together and producing something beautiful, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
And basically, that's what that statement means. It doesn't mean you're actually stealing. It means you're using information from other sources and bringing them together to create something new. Whereas if you just take it from one, you're not making anything new, because you're literally just taking that. Yeah,
and pretending it's yours, which is the plagiarism bit.
That's the plagiarism bit. Yes.
Yeah. Also, though, I think it's also about if you do look in multiple places, you're not getting stuck, or I hope we're not getting stuck in the algorithmic echo chamber, because unfortunately the algorithms on social media, you start looking at one thing, it'll keep feeding you the same stuff, which I think is really bad.
I think we need to ban the algorithms, frankly. I think they're terrible. They're terrible for mental health. Yeah. They're terrible for learning new things, because it will just keep spewing the same stuff at you. I mean, it's like everybody's done it. You've clicked on a video you've never seen before because you think, oh, that looks interesting. And suddenly your feed is just full of videos like that. And you just go, It's so frustrating.
Yeah, at the moment, you have to be well aware of that. And I think that's the thing when kids start using the internet, if they don't put this under 16 ban in, I think we need to teach them to understand that there are algorithms, because unless someone starts legislating and say you can't use that, people are going to have to understand that you get stuck in an echo chamber, and you do have occasionally step outside it, go and look for other sources. I mean, Ground News is fabulous for this, because Ground News is not an echo chamber. Ground News is telling you everything about a subject. So if you pick a particular subject like the Artemis moon mission and stuff like that, it will show you all the information from all the different sources. But the important thing is it tells you about those sources, their biases, whether they're central, left, right leaning, and so you can actually understand where the information is coming from, what their leaning is, why they're saying it the way they're saying it. And I think that's really a useful learning tool.
Yeah. Because you can then you can make up your own mind up as what is claptrap, because somebody has got a political stance on something.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Because with the modern media is terrible. It really is. I mean, it used to be that you'd think, oh, that's a bit lefty leaning, or that's a bit right leaning, or that's pretty balanced. But these days, they don't even tell you the whole story. They're only interested in the clickbait.
And I mean, the headlines. The headlines it's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, let's get off that soapbox. Is there any evidence that Hank has ever put out any hallucinated content?
Don't think so.
I don't think so either.
After this statement came out, there would all the keyboard warriors would have been scrutinizing everything he's ever put out, and if there were big red flags in it, it would be all over the internet by now. It wouldn't just be people saying, "Oh, he's admitted to using AI." It would be people going, "Oh, he admitted to using AI, and this video, and this video, and this video, and this video, and this video," and you would not be we'd know. Yeah. It would be everywhere.
Yeah, it has only been a week or so, but I haven't seen anything dramatic like that.
It would have been less than 24 hours before it was everywhere. I mean, you've seen how fast people can fall in this environment. Yeah. I mean, people get cancelled overnight for things. A lot of the time they deserve it, but it would be if that evidence was there, it would be on every channel. It would be on a news channel by now.
Yeah. And I did like the point in his Reddit post. He did say that Hank's channel may come back with research or script writing help. And I think that's good. And I think that does need to be people, because frankly, he can afford it. He can afford to pay people, and there's lots of people out there who would do a really good job, I think, helping him.
I think the only reason he hasn't so far is I think he's one of these people that literally gets an idea and then goes down the rabbit hole to get it out there. So that's why I think he's got to take a step back and look at his process, because it's probably the control freak or the the hyper focus on something. Yeah, that's coming out, and he just goes straight, because I mean, he literally said it. He said he gets these ideas and he wants to get a video out as fast as possible so that he can get on with what's important. And it's like, yeah, it's time to take a step back and maybe put some people in the way because he's clearly been pushing it too hard.
Yeah. Okay, another question. So, do we still trust Hank Green? The two of us, what do we think?
Yes. He's never come out and said he would never use AI in anything, and therefore this is a betrayal. He's always said that he's not completely anti-AI, so he's not broken that trust for a start.
Yeah, and I also think, I mean, he's a good creator, and he came out and he was honest, direct, and open that what's been happening.
Yeah.
And he's got a good support network around him as well. I think the fact he's got his wife and his brother, who are telling him, don't do this anymore. I think he's got a good structure around him to help, and I think he is hopefully looking at how to make that structure wider so that he doesn't need to keep relying on AI when he's got people to do things for him. So yeah, I agree. I think I still trust Hank. I don't think he has destroyed his reputation I still trust his content. I still trust Complexly. I think I still love SciShow. I was watching one the other day, and I actually started watching some of the Hank the Ask Hank Anything, because of it was mentioned, that one with Soupy Twist. I thought, I'm going to go watch this, and I actually rather enjoyed it. So he might have got a new audience member.
Yeah, I mean, I think there will be some people that will just go nope, and no part of his content now. But I don't think it's necessary. I think he was probably on a slippery slope that he's realised he was on a slippery slope, and he's stepped off it.
And the fact that he's clearly stated his own rules now, which are fairly similar to Complexly's.
And he's going to have the whole world looking at it. His entire fan base and some are going to be looking at it and going, is this AI now? So you can guarantee he's going to stick to those rules, because otherwise people are going to come down on him for a great height. So yeah. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, isn't it? So he's not going to try. I don't think he's going to try getting away with that again. I think I think this has been a wake up call for him. And I think he's an honest person. I think he will honestly try to do what's right. So the next question is, do we still trust SciShow and other ventures that Complexly produce? Yes, because they didn't do anything wrong.
No, they never did. Yeah, it's not all Hank. There's a complete team on those different shows.
He's presenting scripts written by other people most of the time.
Well, he said he doesn't write for those shows.
Yeah, so he is presenting scripts from other people.
Yeah. Okay, so moving away a bit from Hank then. We've had this conversation twice already, but I think it's worth having it again. What are we going to do about AI? I mean, it's clear it's not going away anytime soon. It's here to stay. Gen AI has already stolen from many artists and writers. So that's not going to go away either. I hope that they scrap those models and start again, but I don't think they're going to.
That's never going to happen. There's too many billions involved.
But also, AI is out there spreading false information faster than even humans could on the internet. So I think fundamentally, if this isn't going to go away, we, the consumer, are just going to have to get more discerning. It's a really sad comment, but I think we are going to just have to get better at knowing what we like and what recognizing crap.
But I also think that we are going to need the governments to legislate. And it's gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think AI content is going away, but I think there should be laws in place which say if it's AI content, you have to label it, and there are consequences if you do not. And it's not just we'll delete your YouTube channel if you haven't told us you're using AI. No. The people behind these channels need to be able to be prosecuted and fined significant amounts of money, not just little things, but they need to put something in place where there are checks and balances, because otherwise the internet is literally just going to become AI slop.
Yeah, I think because as we say, we've already said this before, we are in the middle of this kind of storm at the moment, the AI storm. I'm hoping, just like the .com bubble, the AI bubble is going to burst.
Yeah.
I think bits of it already have started doing that, because people are realizing, CEOs and companies are still going, you've got to use AI, it's going to improve productivity, it's great, blah, blah. But people are beginning to realize that's not a given. That's not across the board. AI tools do not help productivity all the time.
But also, the problem is they got rid of a whole load of people. They fired the human beings to allow one person to do the job of 4. And that's not going to work, because A, you're going to burn out the one person, because people do not work well in a vacuum. And and also, you don't get the creativity, because problems require brains talking about them. Because AIs produce stuff, but you can't guarantee it's what you actually want.
No, and also you need to have the skills in place in the first place to use AI as a tool. And the thing they're seeing at the moment, I think, is that it's really useful for stuff. It can help you write stuff like code really fast, but you need to be a good coder to then look at that code and work out if it's doing what you want it to do, B, doing it in the right order, and C, doing it efficiently. It's not just about, you have to have the skills in the first place. And if people are just using AI to do this, they're never going to get those skills.
No. You need to, it's exactly the same as in writing. You need to learn the rules before you can break them. And if you don't, it's just, you're never going to get anywhere. And you're going to end up with a workplace where nobody knows how to do it. I mean, what happens if you don't get access to if the AI goes down? You're screwed if you've only got programmers who know how to program with an AI.
It's like where I used to work, we had to have disaster recovery processes and policies in place for what happens if all the computers go down and everything goes away, because we were looking after people and we had to maintain that atmosphere. We had to be able to carry on looking after people and help them to do what they needed to do if those computers went down. So we had to have things, we had to keep things on paper and stuff like that, just in case. It's the same with AI. AI, if AI goes away and you can't do it on yourself, you're up shit creek without a paddle.
And the thing is, we do need to get good at spotting it.
We do. Yes, we do.
So for the generative AI, we're not talking about the AI which spots cancer cells. That's brilliant. We want to keep those models. Those models are great. But the LLMs, which are producing AI art, which is terrible, and AI fiction, which is terrible, we need to be able to spot it. I mean, because I mean, in images, sometimes it's really easy because you'll look at somebody's hair and it's melting into their shirt, and you think, "How did that happen?" Or they've got
Or
parallel line,
missing
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 limbs,
things on their hands. Yeah,
or
or missing fingers.
or a leg goes behind something and it never appears the other side, and things like that. Because AI is really good at forgetting that it didn't put something in. So there are obvious things, and then there are the non-obvious things. I mean, there are several channels on YouTube with artists talking about whether something is AI or not, and there are whole Reddit threads and threads places that are all about, is this AI?
Yeah, Cat and Chat does that really well.
Yes, that's exactly who I was thinking of. Thank you, because I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. Explains it all. And if you get good at it, then you're not being fooled by the AI, but you're also not going to accuse other people of using AI when they didn't.
Yeah.
Which is also very important.
I mean, the AI world we're living in at the moment, we've mentioned this before, it's like going, witch, witch, witch. And the accusation is enough to ruin someone's career. We've seen it. There's been one recently, actually, where we don't know who it was, but I think it was a couple of million quid's worth of for 2 books. And I think it was the agents, I think. Don't quote me on this. I'll go find the link and put it down below. Someone talking about it in more detail. But the agents walked away from this deal because they had a suspicion of AI had been used.
And it's like, that's not right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the question there was, so what proof are people going to have to show to prove they didn't use AI? Because that's really, I mean, proving a negative is really more difficult. You can't prove a negative.
You can't prove a negative.
What your records, but what metadata are people going to want to see to prove? Because I think there are things in certain pieces of software, writing software, which will record stuff for you to show you. But we know that this, I mean, we've seen this in the speed paints for artists, where they're showing speed paints and they're faking their speed paints. These are AI artists faking speed paints. So what Cat and Chat does is she will go through and go, yeah, people don't speed paint like that. Or she goes, people may speed paint like that, but not here.
But also, especially with writing, look at how much they're producing. How many books are they bringing out? I mean, you can actually write a book in a month. It's not going to be a great book, but you can do it.
But I think there's a comment. Kate Kavanagh writes did a whole blog post about how we're going to prove that we didn't use AI type stuff. But it was in her comment section that I found a really good quote about, and it's from someone who says they're an editor. And I'll put the link down to Kate's whole section here. But it goes, I'm an editor, and twice now, despite my statements that I don't work on AI generated material, I have correctly identified AI material. The client admitted to it when asked, so it was confirmed. The tales for me are much more nuanced than grammar, punctuation, and the rule of threes. Now, for everyone who doesn't know what the rule of three is, when someone goes, it's so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, it's a fairly standard way of doing things when you're making arguments and points and stuff. But that's what the rule of three is. It took a fair amount of each book for me to feel confident in my assessment, probably at least half. And I think that's the important bit. It's about the fact that there was more information. You needed a lot more information to actually tell. It was about the vagueness of certain aspects or some nonsensical plot pieces, like characters making choices without a reason and not knowing things they should, jobs that are undefined, and settings that shift or aren't really grounded at all.
Yep.
In other words, bad writing.
Yeah. I mean that's exactly what what's his name?
Language Jones.
Language Jones. Yeah, I was. Basically, he said that it's actually quite difficult to tell the difference between AI generated material and just bad writing, because he read a paper published in a magazine and thought, "Ooh, this has AI AI vibes," and then he found out it was made by it was written by an undergrad, and he said, "Yeah, that explains it's just bad writing."
Yeah, I was just going to say he was again talking about the whole. It was
Yeah.
about, it wasn't one point. It wasn't things like there's M dashes or semicolons or the rule of threes or it's not this, it's that in the writing.
Yeah.
What he said is it's about the absolute conceptual incoherence behind common word choices. Those are his words. I'm quoting him from it. Go and see his full vid. It's really interesting. But he gives an example which I'll put up on the screen somewhere around here, because he used the example that Gemini came up with, which is words aren't just empty containers, a blank slate to be filled. Now, on the surface, that sounds logical. It's both of them about filling empty containers and stuff. But actually, he points out a container and a slate are two very different things when it comes to filling them out. You fill a bucket, you fill a container with it's filling. You fill a slate, you're writing on it. You're filling it with words. Two very different concepts, and it completely mixed those concepts up in one sentence. And that's what kind of tells you that it's AI.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, you can see this. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I've seen at least one or two movies on Netflix that were written by AI, because
Probably.
the plot doesn't work. I mean, AI knows that people like exciting things. And it's a probability model. It is using probability, and it goes, well, this will probably happen next. But it just goes bang, 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 bang. There's no troughs and peaks and troughs. So the whole plot doesn't hang together, and characters forget things, and characters do things that you go, but why did you do that? And there's no explanation about why they did it. And there's and sometimes in movies, characters doing things completely out of the blue is fine, but there's usually a bit of foreshadowing. But it's like it's if all of these things come together and endings. AI cannot write endings. It fundamentally does not understand how to end a plot in any satisfying way, shape, or form. And some people are really bad at writing endings. But if you have a bad ending and these other things in there as well, then it's you're going to go, oh yeah, that's AI. You just get a feel for it. It's like, yeah, you're going, this was not written by a human being, because that is just, no, it's wrong.
Yeah. I know what you mean about that, because I do exercise videos from YouTube. I follow exercise videos because I'm trying to improve my health. There is a lass who I really, really like. I think her exercises are great, and I don't think she's using AI to make her exercises up, but she uses royalty-free music, because if she didn't, there'll be a lot of adverts coming into the YouTube vid, which would be kind of defeat the point of a full exercise routine. But I was listening to one the other day. I was following it through. It had a beat, which is the important thing for me when it comes to the exercises. But I was listening to the words of some of the music, and I'm thinking, that doesn't make sense. That just didn't make sense. And I thought, I bet you AI wrote this music.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, she probably buys a whole set cheap from Spotify or something, because I know a lot of streaming places have problems with AI. And I thought, yeah, this is AI. I just got this feeling that this was AI. These songs were AI, because it didn't hang together. They were kind of things that you get in a song like that, but in that context, it didn't make sense. And I think that's what all these people that we'll link down below have been saying. It's not about individual things. It's about the whole feel.
Yeah.
The problem with that is it's gonna we come down to trust. When someone's not telling you everything is AI, but it is, if you spot it, fine, but if you don't, then, and we're entering this world about, we're the ones having to be more discerning. The consumer has to spot these things. The editor has to spot these things. The publisher has to spot these things, because we're publishers as well. Luckily, we only publish each other. So we don't have a problem of knowing the sources, and we don't use AI. I promise we don't use AI.
Won't use AI for anything inside a book.
No.
All stories are completely from in here.
And that is chaos embodied, but it's still there.
Yep. But it is all coming from in there.
Yeah, so I think when it comes down to this thing about trust, though, someone like Hank, like us, anyone producing content on the internet or selling content on the internet, we have to maintain a trust with our audience. So we are going to write our own AI policy for this channel. And I think we need to write it for our publishing house as well, Tash. We'll put it on Whittaker Press's pages as well, about the fact that we don't use AI for any of this, for writing inside books. When we write books, there are stories. We are not using Gen AI at all.
Nope.
And I think that's going to be important.
Yeah, and we don't use it in making our covers either. I had used it in making covers when it first came out, because I thought, oh, great tool. And then all the information about where it was trained from and everything like that all came out as well. And so none of them use AI anymore. I took all the AI covers down and recreated them myself, personally, like I did all of the others before.
Yeah, because we do use free images from people like Pexels and Pixabay and stuff like that, because that's what they're there for. So we use base image, but we do actually, even on our thumbnails and stuff like that, at the bottom of this description, you'll see a whole bunch of references. If we've used images from any of these places, we'll say who it's from, because we want to give credit, because these people are putting these things up so we can use them, and we will actually give credit. It's just like using references. We will reference everything we've used, whether we've spoken about it, whether we've got clips from it, even sometimes when we're just talking about certain things, they will all be in our reference section.
Yep.
Because we want people to trust what we're doing.
Yep.
And I mean, AI in book spaces, not a happy thing. It's being used to undermine the industry. Again, people are thinking, I can do lots more faster and cheaper. They're just not. The people that do it really don't fundamentally understand what good writing is, I think.
No.
And they are wanting to make money.
Yeah. The one thing it is good for is marketing materials.
Yes.
Simply because certain places have algorithms that like certain formats. And if you have produced a blurb for your book and it doesn't cater to the algorithm, your book will disappear into the black hole. But if you use a specific tool, like Kindlepreneur has one, which is you put your own book blurb in there. So you've written it, you've already written the book blurb, you have summarized your own book and put it in the book blurb. It will then reformat it for you and give you a leg up to make sure that the Amazon algorithm will think, yeah, this is a great book description. So when you fill in the book description, you've given it all the ideas, but it will repackage them so that the algorithm really likes it. And I saw that Language Jones, he was saying that he used YouTube's tools, which are based on AI, to start writing his descriptions. Because then it got better engagement with the algorithm, because that tool knew how to package it. So he'd given it the information and it knew how to package it so that the algorithm could get the most out of it. Which makes sense because the algorithm knows how the algorithm works. That's where it can be useful. Now all we need to do is make sure that it isn't killing the planet as well. And there must be ways to do it without killing the planet.
Well, didn't the Chinese come up with a less energy intensive model?
I think they did, but I didn't see anything on it further, so I don't know what happened after that.
No. That's where the tech bros, we're talking to you. That's where you need to put your research investment, not in stealing everybody's books and everybody's art and stuff illegally to train your networks, or indeed putting in really weird contracts so that you can actually then take someone and said, yeah, you signed this away, so we can have it. Like Adobe tried that, didn't they, with being able to and things. Don't put money into that and trying to rip people off. Put money into making AI better for the environment, more energy efficient, doing things better, not bigger and throwing more energy at things. Look at how to do it better and how to be more efficient at things. That's where we need to go. That's where I would really admire people working in AI to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would use a model for research and stuff like that if I thought it was sustainably created and it hadn't stolen all the information. I would not use it for writing. I would not use it for anything like that. But I do think it has its uses and it is a useful tool, but not in its current state. Gen AI is a demon. We need to legislate for it and get rid of it, because it's being used for all the bad things. It's being used for keeping people on the internet, feeding them. It's like all the algorithms. It needs legislation. We need to sort that out.
They need to sort out the algorithms from everything.
Yeah.
They need to make sure that it's not doing things like hacking into everybody else's systems because it can.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, the problem is with AI is the people that created them don't understand how they're working. And if you can't explain how and why it's working, it's not trustworthy.
You can't control it.
No.
If you don't understand it, you can't control it.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to care.
No, but there's a lot of work to be done for all that. And I think we also need to distinguish here between Gen AI and AI algorithms that have been trained very carefully, things that, like the ones that look for cancer cells and stuff like that, and do repetitive tasks. That's what it's good for. That's what we want to use it for. It's not good for creating art and anything creative. It doesn't create. It's not good for making that. It's good for doing stuff that humans find difficult.
Yep, indeed. And I think that's a good roundup.
Yeah, I think so. And in summary, so we still trust Hankgreen. We think he made a faux pas, a really big faux pas, but he's correcting himself. AI's here to stay. But it needs legislating for it, and it needs the tech people need to be controlled, because they're not controlling themselves.
No, they won't, and they never will, because it's all about money.
No. Yeah.
So they need to be controlled.
I think those of us who are users of all products on the internet just unfortunately need to get more discerning.
Yep. Indeed.
Okay. Well, I think our message to everybody is thanks for listening if you got this far.
Yep. Well
Please
done.
like and subscribe. We're still trying to grow our audience. We hope you like the stuff we're doing. And we'd like to see you back again.
Yeah, and tell us what you think of AI in the comments. We'd really love to know.
Oh, yes. Yes. because I mean we've got our opinions. They're very strong ones, clearly. What do you think of Hank Green?
Yeah.
Coming out and admitting this, or what do you think? Do you think he was right to actually admit stuff and start to correct himself, or do you think he shouldn't have said anything? What's your honest opinion about this?
Yep.
Let us know. We'd love to have a chat.